Olga, let's start with you. So it would be great if you can kind of summarize how you experienced COVID-19 at Gurtam in terms of, the impact it had on your clients and your partners, how you communicated with your clients, and also maybe some of the measures you've been able to do to help them.
Yeah, thanks, Dom. First of all, please let me introduce myself. My name is Olga Zhunusova. I'm a regional development manager for Europe at Vialon division of Gurtam. And just to mention, Gurtam is a developer of the world-famous GPS tracking platform Vialon, so a leading software with 2.6 million units operating worldwide. So if to talk about the impact of COVID-19, first of all, let me admit that we are operating in the following region: in Europe, Africa, Asia Pacific, Middle East, Russia, and CIS region, North America, and Latin America. And when the whole situation happened, all the Vialon partner community was shocked and asked us for our support and help. It was expected because a lot of transportation companies, logistic companies paused their businesses due to lockdown in their countries. And for example, tourism businesses are totally stopped, and all those factors, of course, influence on businesses of our partners as well. So, for example, one part of the end users stopped to pay for telematics services. Another part of the clients asked to pause their services due to their necessity at that moment. And from what we saw, the whole community from all the countries we work in face those challenges. And if to specify the regions that were hit hardest, I can admit that such regions as Europe and Middle East were hit a lot, as the most countries went on the lockdown twice during the first and the second waves of coronavirus. Yeah, so if now moving to the next question, if to talk about interaction with our partners, with our community, I want to say that we have exceptionally close relationships with the Vialon partner community. So we have constant communication in our community chats, via emails. We meet our partners at different conferences and expos. So in March, when it became obvious that that all of us are switching to remote work, we decided to support the community and launch so-called Gurtam TV. It is an online platform for the Vialon community where our partners and experts can discuss the burning issues of the telematics market. And this concept includes online Gurtam meetups, webinars, and podcasts. These events are presented in Russian, Spanish, English, and I'm pleased to admit that during these 10 months, we already organized 50 meetups and continue this activity twice a month. Also, I want to add that each year we organized the Gurtam Partner Conference or Telematic Conference for the community at our headquarters in Minsk, Belarus. This year, unfortunately, due to pandemic situation, we were forced to cancel the offline event and move it to the online format. So as we had Vialon Top 50 Global. It is the first rating established by Gurtam for telematic companies that connected the largest number of units on Vialon for the previous 12 months. We also had GPS hardware manufacturers top 10. It is the rating for hardware manufacturers whose devices have been most frequently connected by the community to Vialon as well over the last 12 months. And we also launched new contest. It is IoT Project of the Year. It is the first global annual competition of IoT projects focused on telematics solution. So this is what we did for the community, new activities that were launched when the whole pandemic situation happened. And you also ask about financial assistance. So We were, of course, we were thinking in that direction too, and we launched so-called Gurtam relief plan to support the businesses of our partners. So we gave our partners the possibility to use the unit deactivation feature. This feature allows to temporarily deactivate vehicles that are not used, and to do it without any additional expenses. And also, on the other hand, to maintain relationships between partners and their clients so that both could resume activity when the coronavirus leans back. And we also have around 40K deactivated units at the pandemic peak. And now I'm happy to say that most of them are gradually being activated. So one more commercial related activity. We made the Violon certification test free for the community. So it helps our partners to invest more time in education, even when being locked in their homes and unable to get the usual tasks done. So, and I'm really proud of 400 IT professionals who successfully passed the test over the last 3 months. So it's a great result, and thank our community for being so active. So this is like commercial related activities that we launch. And maybe I can add also a few words about Flespi. It's our, it's another product by Gurtam. It's a backend platform connecting telematics hardware of any time to telematics system. And also Flespi team launched a new initiative as a part of a so-called rescue plan. So the idea is to help local governments, NGOs, other companies and integrators to control and restrain the spread of coronavirus. And Flespi team offered for free a commercial account, commercial Flespi account for the development of the anti-COVID-19 projects, and also technical consulting, guidance, and coordination of such kind of projects.
Okay, thank you. Very impressive. It's good to see how you were able to continue interacting with your clients and partners and helping them financially. I heard it from other service providers as well. I think Geotap did similar, financial support activities, suspending some of their subscribers. So great to hear that. So Jerry, over to you. So kind of the same question. So how did you see the impact of COVID-19 on your clients, and how were you able to navigate the pandemic from at Streamax?
Okay, thank you, Dom. So basically, we do have business all around the world as well. And from our experience, North America and Europe is the least impacted regions in the world. I think that doesn't make much sense, especially in the North American region, since they have the most cases. However, we do see majority of the projects maintaining its momentum even through the hardest times. The regions being affected the most will be Latin America, Southeast Asia, and Africa for us. We do see a lot of budget being cancelled for the year, and a lot of the projects has been postponed to the following years. And also the significant change in the currency exchange rate has also impacted their purchasing power internationally. So that has become a problem. Some of the deals that was originally discussed and agreed are now no longer viable due to their currency depreciating 30% in a very short period of time. However, despite all the challenges, we are still able to see some very healthy growth in a global perspective. So based on some of the research that we have seen, there's less vehicles traveling on the road globally, but there are more severe accidents due to driver inattention and driving fatigue. We all know that the trucking industry is very important and is business as usual during the pandemic. And the empty street and the less challenging driving driving environment actually created an unexpected negative impact on the safety. So we do see an increase in the demand, and in Europe and in the North American region, we do see very healthy growth in those regions. One of the key difference between our interactions now and before will be a lot of the communications are due online. So we are, I think our team had roughly 840,000 of minutes of Zoom meetings this year with our customers, and we had also taken a lot of new effort to bring StreamX to everybody. So we are now having a virtual tour of our factories, of our showrooms, and of our solutions to be able to demonstrate what the solution is all about and what are the benefits over the air. And then we are definitely looking at new approaches on providing technical support and trainings for our partners over the internet. We do see some financial challenges for some of our partners, especially for example, in Argentina. There may be currency restrictions. They cannot pay US dollars. In those cases, I think we have taken in an approach of a more flexible payment terms and giving and reducing our price. And so we are going through the challenge together with our partners.
Okay, maybe your customers will suffer from Zoom fatigue now instead of driver fatigue going forward.
I know we are.
So one question, you say some of your clients suspended their activities, canceled orders. Can you talk a bit, which segments? Was that transit, bus, or others? I can imagine public transport was one of the ones that suffered most, or were there others as well?
Well, public transportations, on the other hand, is less affected comparing to the trucking industry because they are basically relying on government budgets in most of the countries. Mm-hmm. And that has been steady, where private organizations such as trucking fleet, they are looking at their own pocket, and they have a fear in the future, so they are more reluctant to put in new investments. I think that's it.
That's a good point. So buses can drive around empty and still get funded by governments. That's a good point. Yeah, at least for a little while. So let's move on to the next kind of set of questions. So we talked about the negative impact of COVID-19 and what you can do about it. But let's look at what are the opportunities, new applications, new services. You know, the world is changing. Maybe it will continue, will change permanently. But can we talk a little bit about, from a telematics and service perspective, what types of new products you're either launched or planning to launch? So maybe Olga, starting with you again.
Yeah, thanks, Dom. So first of all, let me say that Vialon is updated every 1-2 months. For example, we already released more than 30 new features in 2020, as we're continuously developing and supporting the system. And if to talk about some specific anti-COVID solutions, in April, we launched a new solutions, Distance Tag. It is a fast, cost-effective, and reliable Vialon-based solution for quarantine tracking. It helps to stay informed on whether employees or other people observe the quarantine measures and remain within the specific territory if there are any movement restrictions, for example. So it's one of the COVID-related solution. And also here I would like to add a few words about another Vialon-based app named Logistics. So we designed it previous years to solve the task related to shipping arrangement, transport processes optimization, and cutting costs throughout the supply chain. And I'm happy to admit that for the next year, we are planning to significantly improves the route optimization algorithm, as it is the heart of any automated route planning service. So it's like, in short, our plans for the next year.
Okay. So Jerry, what did Streamax develop or plan to develop as in terms of new features from video telematics perspective in your case, I think?
Yes. So in order to look at COVID-19 as an opportunity is quite difficult, but we do see some new opportunities. So in the Middle East, we have implemented a cashless payment systems based on LMDVRs and the integrated Android tablets to allow less cash interactions between the drivers and the passengers to avoid further spreading of the virus. We are also implementing an add-on package of a temperature monitor. So every passengers coming into a bus or school bus will be scanned and the temperature will be taken, and anyone that's having a fever will sound a warning, and the driver will know, and the passenger might have to go back and isolate at home. Auto passenger counting has also we have been providing that solution for a while, but since COVID-19, there's added restrictions on the capacity of public transportations. So automatic passenger counting has been implemented in some areas to limit and to better calculate how many passengers is actually on board the bus, so they know how to operate in a safe manner. Mask detection is another feature that we are adding into our DMS solutions because traditionally DMS focus on a lot of the facial features on the driver's face. So now with the added mask on their face, a lot of the DMS features are no longer workable and generates a lot of false positive. So we have taken the chance and train our AI, use a lot of the collected samples to make sure that we can bypass this challenge. And also in the public transportation applications, we can use the cameras to monitor whether the passenger is wearing their mask when they're using the public transportation. And lastly, for next year, cold chain transportation is going to carry the most important cargo of the coming decade, and we are actively developing cold chain compatible solutions to better monitor the cargo conditions and to avoid and to help them monitor whether there's any mishandlings, any theft on those vaccines. So this is what we are actively doing right now.
Yeah, interesting. You mentioned the people counting. Where I live here in Brussels, I heard that one of the transportation transit companies are doing the same thing, giving people on their smartphones information about how busy a bus is, and maybe wait for the next bus which is less busy. So interesting to see how you play a role in that as well. So we have a couple of minutes left. So let's look forward towards next year and beyond. So what is your expectation in terms of continuing challenges for your customers? I think I heard some of you say that you see improvements already. Where do you see most opportunity in terms of the markets you're addressing, and the challenges overall for your customers, and also the length of that time? So Olga, we start with you again.
Yeah, thank you, Dom. If to talk about challenges, I'd say that the biggest challenge for our community, for Vialon partners, will be, of course, to save the existing client base. Of course, it's a challenge at all times, but also to return the clients who paused their services in 2020 and not to lose them. And challenges for Gurtam, if to have a look at 2020, we don't just get through the year, we continue our growth. And our challenge for 2021 is to move towards serious development, no matter what surprises 2021 will prepare for us. So it's like our main challenge. And there also was a question about the growth that we expect to see next year. Of course, we hope to see the growth in all countries, in all the countries where our partners operate in. But if to talk about regions, for example, we saw incredible growth in the previous years in Latin America. And of course, we hope that when the situation with COVID stabilizes, the growth rate in Latin America will recover and will be close to the previous indicators. And we also expect to see growth in Europe and Africa. We hope to see these regions growing most in 2021.
So do you see certain segments being more promising than others? Delivery, of course, is that. Are you focusing more on that? Are you developing tailored solutions, or is that something you already have in your portfolio?
This is what we already have. As I mentioned, we have a specific app for delivery services named Logistics. And also later today, I will share 2 use cases about our partners who already implemented projects in this sector. So join my presentation.
Okay.
To share this expertise.
Yeah. We need to wrap up. So Jerry, very briefly, how do you see the future for StreamX?
We still expect a very healthy growth in the upcoming years. I think the worst has happened in 2020, and now is going up gradually. Different regions will have different recovery path, but we do see North America and Europe will be leading the trend again. And I think the major challenge for video telematics will be the availability of installation technicians and whether they're allowed to be on site. So that was the key challenge that we had because unlike telematics, video telematics normally requires a professional installation, and those personnel are sometimes not allowed onto the customer site in this year because of the lockdown procedures that they are following. And I think for the most promising opportunities in 2021, I think will be the combination of video telematics and the insurance providers. I think video telematics is very close to proving its value, that it can not only help the fleets to improve their safety management, reduce accidents rate. It can also help insurance companies to improve their bottom lines as well. So it could very well create a subsidized relationship between the insurance premium and the video telematics services. So I think that will be a key growth opportunities in the years to come.
Okay, very interesting. We have a question, I think, coming in. If I understand it correctly, the question is about the growing impact of OEMs. I think the gentleman refers to truck OEMs that have their OEM telematics, so factory installed telematics, including driver monitoring and other types of services. So I think the question is, do you see this as a threat for your aftermarket business or not? I don't know, maybe Olga, you have some perspective on this. So do you see some of your business going to OEMs that offer their own telematics in some cases or not?
Yeah, for me, it looks like it will be like a new direction for us in the next years. Because for sure this niche need to be, we need to pay attention to this niche. And if there is a demand on the market, of course, we need to react to it.
Okay. Jerry, do you see any video telematics being installed by the truck OEM guys, or is it still an aftermarket business essentially?
Well, I think it's already happening. So in China and in some places, we are already providing our equipment to the truck OEMs, so they will have it installed and or the customers will have the ability to take it off when they order the truck. But I think the most important point is that which platform are they going to be connected to? For using StreamX as an example, we have a unified communication protocols across all of our products. So regardless of which product goes into which truck, if we have a partnership together, the data can flow into your platform if the customer wishes it that way. So I believe that the key is to be able to provide more values on the software and the management platform side so that you can, even though the product is not sold by you or installed in the aftermarket installation, it can still be a part of your product and your portfolios, and you can still serve those customers after they have purchased the truck.
So open platforms, hardware agnostic open platforms where you offer your services as well. There was actually a similar question on cold chain. I think the question was, isn't that market taken by the big OEMs, the Thermo Kings and the Schmitz Cargo Bulls, which have cold chain technology embedded in their vehicles? And is there an aftermarket opportunity for that? I don't know, any thoughts on that? So the question is, what is the opportunity for aftermarket cold chain as opposed to specialized trucks, cold chain trucks? Olga, any thoughts?
Yeah, I can say that we are already suitable for cold chain projects. For example, also today I will share more practical example on how our partner from Sri Lanka provided a global courier with pharmaceutical transportations, which is super sensitive to temperature, to humidity, and of course all these parameters need to be controlled. So cold chain, this is what can be already realized with Veolon. So please send me any questions related to Veolon, and I will answer via email and consult on this topic.
Yeah, and another thing I want to mention is there probably won't be enough cold chain trucks, Thermo King, available. So I think we'll have to equip non-specialist trucks for cold chain transport. And I think maybe that's where aftermarket solution can play a big role, because I think there won't be enough Thermo King trucks out there to do the transportation. So maybe that's another way to look at this. Okay, thank you very much.